Okay, I am Karina Mrozinski, Tribal Historic Preservation Officer for the Oneida Tribe. And this is Loretta Metaxen. She's our tribal historian. And we're here today to talk about the intent of the stone building that was built here and the future use, the intention for the future use of it as well, to incorporate it with a park, kind of park recreation type style. So I'm going to have Loretta talk about what she remembers of this building and some of the uses that she remembered.
Well, actually, this is the cook shack or the cookhouse for the CCC or Civilian Conservation Corps men who were working here at Oneida. This was called a CCC camp, and there were many young men, probably from 16 years on into their 20s, that signed up to be part of that. And they did public works, like they built little bridges, they drained land, they used picks and shovels to make large drainage ditches, or I'd say not large but lengthy drainage ditches for miles, all the way from County Trunk U and crossing the land from probably the northeast to the southwest. So the ditches would go all the way from the corner of the reservation in that direction, all the way across and down into the southeast in that direction, and those ditches are still there. The purpose of this building was for the cookhouse. They cooked most of their meals here, but they could have supplement cooking too with, say, a tripod and an outdoor fires as well, and probably to feed several hundred people every day. And so that was very, very useful. They built this building and the white building off to the west, and there were several other buildings here as well. There was a big garage here where they housed some gas-powered machinery, and they had a gas pump here. When I was about 12 years old, 12 or 13, the white building was used for 4-H exhibits, like a county fair. So everybody bought their vegetables here or their projects, and they got, and I think Irene Moore was in charge of that, and everybody got prizes of one kind or another. A lot of children were involved. 1967, there was actually a powwow here that was sponsored by the Oneida tribe, and Ruth and the boy Baird were probably the leaders in that. And so we had a big, there were a lot of people here. There was a big group that came for that celebration. So there, of course, there were no indoor facilities. There were outdoor toilets here. As I said, all the buildings were built by these young men, whether it were carpentry or the masonry that we see behind me here. And I think that this building should be restored. I don't think it would take a lot to put it back, especially the fireplaces, to put them back in order. And they actually could be used by the fitness program of Oneida to come out here and do certain fitness kind of, well, whatever they want to do. They could be running efforts or exercising efforts or a whole lot of other kind of things, and they could have their own lunches out here. They could cook them themselves, and that might be part of their training too for young people. I think that if the folks that are from, say, all the way from about 9 or 10 years old on up into teenagers, if they were participating in doing something here that was fun, entertaining as well as educational, that they would have probably an increased respect for the property, because it would be theirs. And I think it should be here. It should remain here. In a short time, it'll be 100 years old. We should have a story on it that goes in our newspaper. And we probably should let students know who live in this area, Site 2, the other areas, the other housing areas, and the schools about this property. It's theirs. And they should know about the CCC too, because they're just under the age of the same time that those people who joined the CCC in the 1930s, they're almost that age. And the young people that joined in the 1930s, they were teenagers, and they wore military clothing, and it was the civilian, although they were not military, they were the civilian Conservation Corps. They did a lot of work, mostly by hand, mostly with hand tools on the whole reservation.
Was it majority of it, was it all Oneida men, or was it?
From this program was all, as far as I know, were all Oneida men. Although quite a few of the Oneida men went to CCC camps on other reservations, like the Menominees and Lac du Flambeau and other reservations as well.